It's just a pair of sneakers. That's what most people think, until you see someone pull a gun over them. Until a teenager doesn't come home because he got caught up in a resell meetup that turned into a robbery. Until someone's life ends over what started as a love for shoes. In recent years, the sneaker resale market has exploded into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Limited edition drops, raffles, bots, and backdoor deals have created a system where sneakers aren't just fashion, they're currency. For some, flipping a pair of Jordans or Yeezys is a side hustle. For others, it's their main source of income. And for a few, it's become a reason to kill. Most resellers don't think it'll go that far. You win a drop, you flip the pair, you move on. But with prices climbing and releases becoming harder to access, the game has shifted. More competition, more risk, and in some corners of the scene, more violence. What used to be meetups in broad daylight are now cash-only deals in parking lots and stairwells. People carry weapons. Some don't plan to pay at all. Let's break down all this today. On February 8th, 2024, 16-year-old Javier Osorio Mejia was shot and killed in Soho, Manhattan. The setting was a familiar one to anyone involved in sneaker reselling. A meetup arranged online, supposedly to buy and sell shoes. But it wasn't a trade. It was a setup. The details were pieced together from surveillance footage and police reports. Mejia arrived expecting a transaction. Instead, he was confronted by a group intent on robbing him. The confrontation escalated, and by the end of it, the teen was shot in the chest. He died later in the hospital. He was a part of the city's streetwear and sneaker market. He ran a small resale page. Locals say he was known, respectful, focused on his grind. But that didn't protect him from the risk that comes with high-value deals in low-security environments. His death shook the New York City sneaker community and raised a question that still doesn't have a clear answer. How did something built around style, sports, and identity spiral into something this dangerous? The sneaker resale market wasn't always this intense. It started as a niche, built by enthusiasts who collected for the love of the culture. But by the mid-2010s, reselling had become a competitive business. Platforms like StockX, GOAT, and Flight Club formalized the space, turning hobbyists into entrepreneurs and kicks into assets. With profit margins growing, more people entered the market. Limited pairs created more demand, and scarcity started to feel like strategy. Sneaker companies leaned into it, creating artificial exclusivity to build hype. But the more limited the drop, the more chaotic the chase. According to reports, what followed was a wave of burnout, frustration, and gatekeeping. Sneaker bots, automated software that snatches up drops faster than any human, made it nearly impossible for everyday fans to secure releases at retail. Many gave up. Others leaned into the hustle, investing thousands in bots and server access to get ahead. But the pressure to win became the new normal. Drops became high-stakes events, forums filled with tips, flexes, and warnings. The game stopped feeling like culture and started to feel like a lottery where only a few ever win, and the rest just get angrier. As sneaker reselling became more competitive, it also became riskier, not just in terms of profit, but personal safety. It starts with the meetups. A buyer connects with a seller through Instagram, Discord, or a resale app. They agree on a price. Then comes the handoff, often in person, often in cash. But what should be a simple exchange has, in many cases, turned into a setup. Robberies during sneaker meetups aren't uncommon. Some involve fake bills. Others escalate into physical confrontations. In several reported cases, people have been attacked, stabbed, or shot just for showing up with the product. The higher the resale value, the higher the risk. That's part of what makes this problem hard to track. The marketplace is decentralized. Transactions happen in DMS, in group chats, on sidewalks. There are no storefronts, no policies, no real protections. Once the deal leaves the app and enters the street, anything can happen. There are also fake pairs, some so convincing they fool experienced resellers. Disputes over authenticity can quickly turn tense, especially when large amounts of cash are involved. In an environment where trust is already thin, even a disagreement over stitching or box labels can spark conflict. What used to be a niche hustle now has the structure of an underground economy, and with that comes all the risks you'd expect in an unregulated space. The problem isn't just who's flipping sneakers. It's how and where and under what pressure. And as already mentioned, bots have become the go-to tool for serious resellers. They're built to beat the system, automatically checking out shoes in milliseconds, far faster than any human can click. And they work. Most hyped releases sell out in seconds, often snapped up by scripts running on remote servers long before the average buyer even gets through the splash page. To compete, some resellers spend hundreds, sometimes thousands, on these programs. Others pay for bot slots, letting someone else's software secure the pair for a fee. It's technical, expensive, and completely legal, but it's also tilted. If you're not in on it, your odds drop to near zero. Retailers have tried to keep up, introducing raffles, app-exclusive drops, even anti-bot filters. But none of it has been foolproof. People still find workarounds. And when every release becomes a race that only a few can win, resentment builds. There's also the matter of backdoor access. Some insiders, whether store employees or warehouse contacts, leak inventory early or sell off limited pairs quietly before the public ever has a chance. It's not new and it's not widespread, but it happens enough to make people question the integrity of the whole system. The result is a resale space where fairness feels like a myth. A handful of people consistently win. Everyone else either pays inflated resale prices or takes the L and scrolls on. And that imbalance doesn't just stay online. It spills over into the real world, feeding the scams, the setups, and the frustration we looked at earlier. Because when shoes are worth $500, $1,000, sometimes more, people will do whatever it takes to get them. And when the system feels impossible to beat through honest means, some won't bother trying at all. The sneaker resale market isn't illegal, but the way it operates often falls outside any real structure. Most transactions don't end in violence, but the ones that do aren't accidents. They're symptoms of a system built on limited access, high profit margins, and little oversight. From bots locking out everyday buyers to violent meetups gone wrong, the risks are no longer just about missing a drop. They're about what people are willing to do to stay in the game. And the game itself keeps changing faster than most can keep up. There are still people who collect for the love of it, who care about the craft, the history, the culture behind each pair. But their voices are often drowned out by profit margins and hype cycles. So where does that leave us? Maybe it's time to ask what sneaker culture is really becoming, and who it's leaving behind. Because when a $200 shoe can get someone killed, it's no longer just about fashion. It's about the systems, the platforms, and the choices that got us here. And unless something changes, it won't be the last time a pair of sneakers ends up at the center of a headline that has nothing to do with shoes.